Good morning, Hope. I'm so sorry to miss being with you this morning, but I'm also grateful for the opportunity to get some rest and healing. So thank you for that. Happy Mother's Day to all who are celebrating today, and I hope to be with you very soon. Please pray with me. Holy God, we thank you that we are grounded in your love and that this community is surrounded by your love. Be with us today as we reflect on these ancient words, teaching us to love with our whole heart. Amen. One of the only things that I remember from my Hebrew class in seminary are these words: Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. That means, hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. I used to have the rest of it memorized in Hebrew too. It goes like this: you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, and with all your strength. And I can also hear Jesus' little addition: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. This is called the Shema, after the first line of the text. That Hebrew word Shema means listen. This is one of the most central and sacred texts for both Jews and Christians. Moses considered this commandment so important that he told the Israelites to write this commandment on their hearts. And not just on their hearts, on their hands and on their signposts. In most Jewish homes, you will find a little mezuzah in the doorway containing these words: Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. These words are central, and they are words of love. When Moses preached these words, he had led the people out of enslavement in Egypt, spent a long time wandering in the wilderness, and now he was poised to finally make it to the Promised Land. This is the Promised Land sermon. This is the commandment for the Promised Land. It was Moses' interpretation of God's covenant. These are the words not just for surviving trouble, but for thriving in community. Love is at the center. In his commentary on this text, our former general minister and president, Reverend John Dorhauer, wrote, "It's amazing how much we have tried to take the love out of religion, when Moses, and then Jesus after him, made it so central. Some religions have focused on rules and who is in and who is out, but instead, love should be at the center." Reverend Dorhauer continues that if we lean on love, the rules become a little bit easier to interpret and less burdensome. He says, when the Bible is hard to interpret, lean on love. When there's a dispute in the church, lean on love. When there is a social justice struggle, lean on love. At Hope UCC, we try to live by this guiding principle. We try to lean on love. Our motto is welcome, nurture, transform. And each of those concepts is grounded in love. That motto is really nothing without the love behind it. And as things move and change, we can rely on that love to hold us together. Right now, I have to lean on that love. These last couple weeks, I have not felt very well. This week, my doctor confirmed that my Graves' disease has returned. It is an autoimmune disease that attacks my thyroid gland. He assures me that this is hopefully a temporary flare-up, and I will feel much better soon. But a critical component to that healing is rest. And I am not so good at resting. But I'm trying. I'm so grateful to Marion, to the Executive Council, to my pastor support team, and to all of you for the love that you have shown me in taking this little rest. Me not being with you right now is what Shema looks like for me today. We are all loving God with all of our hearts, and we are living it with our lives. We have to keep interpreting what that love looks like, what being grounded in that love looks like. It will change as the circumstances around us change. Hope UCC listens to our fellow church members and our friends. We listen to the community around us, and then we discern what love looks like. How will we welcome, nurture, and transform in these times and circumstances? We have had some hard times this last year in our region and in our nation. We at Hope have tried to stay grounded in love. Even though, like those Israelites that Moses preached to, we are sure tired of the wilderness. We might be cranky. We might even feel frustrated and hopeless at times. But our task is to keep loving. Reverend Dorhauer challenges us to find love in our community and therefore find love in the stewardship of that community. He writes that we always want to pledge for love, and sometimes our church might need a new copier or a new roof, not love. And that doesn't feel so good to us. It doesn't feel like love. But he says, find the love in it anyway. And he gives many examples, and this is just one. Quote, "The truth is that fixing the copier is an act of love. It enables participants in worship to pray as one people, to sing praises as one, to come to the table as one. And as you all hold the bulletins that this office and staff prepared for you, you are one," end quote. The copier brings us together as one. The copier is love. Now, our copier is fine, but each thing that we need, more storage, new staff for our children and youth, Sunday school supplies, stamps for our justice postcards, these are all gifts of love, if we can give them in the spirit of love. Reverend Dorhauer concludes, stewardship is less an obligation to follow some prescribed rules than it is the joy and privilege of a blessed people to remember their covenant promises to love their God completely and love their neighbors as themselves. Thank you for your gifts of love to our community. Thank you for your gifts of love to me in this season of healing, and not just in this time, but always. Let's make sure the world knows that we are grounded in love. Let's write it on our hands and hearts and bulletins and website and social media. Let's live in the world through our ministries of welcome, nurture, transform. As we go through the inevitable wilderness times, we need to remember the words of Moses, Shema, listen. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your strength.